There's a new Made in London movie playing at the Hyland tomorrow. Alterations is a drama and a comedy that follows a single mother who struggles when the police fail to help her find her missing daughter. The soundtrack is local too, showcasing London's music community. Writer and director Jen Romnes is here to tell us about it. Jen, it's great to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm curious a little bit about your story. How did you find yourself making a movie like this?
It started with free time during the pandemic. My original business was murals, so I had done that for over 2 decades. And because a lot of my clients were churches, care homes, hospitals, I couldn't actually access my jobs. And I'm a very active and creative person. I couldn't just sit still and create nothing. And I turned to writing at that point. Started doing screenplays, entered a few contests, started actually placing and winning in those contests. So I thought I might go ahead and actually try to get a movie made.
Okay, so then you did it.
I did it.
How did it go? Like, what was it like to actually make that leap and make a movie?
Making the movie was amazing. The hard part is actually attracting talent to your film and getting people to attach. So it was a big step for me once I had Michael Cow, our cinematographer, attached. He's a Toronto DP who is incredible. And once he fell into place, then everybody else was attracted to the project as well. And then I had a casting director here in town, Elle Bernardo, and she was the one who got a lot of the acting talent onto the project. So again, it's a team that takes a movie. It's not just me. So I really appreciate each and every person who was involved in this project.
So what kind of story do you tell in Alterations?
Well, you just said the log line about the single mom, and the story kicks off with a daughter who, is portrayed as being very smart and very creative and all of that, but she has a problem, and her problem is that her mother is broke. She's running a financially, not doing well laundromat here in London. It's taped on Hamilton Road, so the laundromat there. And she really, really wants to go to university, just like the rest of her friends, and do and study what she wants. But the problem is that her father actually, so her parents aren't together, but her father has too much money, so she can't access student loans. So he wants her to kind of follow in her footsteps, but the daughter and the mother recognizes as him just trying to control her every move. So that's where her disappearance kind of comes into play, because she's, feeling all these pressures, and that's what kicks off our story.
Okay. And what was it that drew you to a story like this?
A lot of lived experience. I myself didn't go to university because of my father's income and my inability to access student loans and then bank loans without a cosigner. So that's why I started up my mural business. That was an avenue that I could pursue here in London. And then as far as the missing part, in 2009, my mother went missing.
Oh.
And so I had many interactions with the police trying to find her. And actually I had to go the civil route to get resolution to finding my mom.
Oh, really? Did you find her?
I did, yeah. We had to have a hearing to have my father removed as her decision maker, so I had to effectively, by myself and on my own dime, prove his abuse of her and me over the decades.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so it was a big deal.
Yeah, and so but going through that process can inform your storytelling a little bit later.
It has 100% shaped my worldview.
Okay, all right. So as I mentioned, this is a totally made in London production. What parts of London will people see in this film?
A lot of the Hamilton Road corridor is featured in it. I did a mural years ago at the Laundromat Cafe right across from Carson Library. So the owner of that owns 3 buildings side by side, so we filmed the heck out of that location. And then other locations you'll see is Pinero Realty, First St. Andrew's Church. There's a bunch of London locations that will be recognizable to people.
What was it like to shoot a film here?
Shooting it was amazing. Again, we had an incredible team and everybody got along really well. So shooting it was absolutely phenomenal.
Great.
Yeah.
And then I also mentioned the music, a lot of made in London music in the film as well. But what kind of stuff will we hear?
There's a few bands. Cedar and Pine is one of the main bands. The 2 main people from that band also did our score, so they created a custom score for us. And then Monitz is another band. There's Universe According to Ray and Pacanomad. And actually, Pacanomad just came out with a new record. So if you've never heard of them on Spotify, do look them up.
Oh, fantastic. So how are you feeling about things now? You've been through this long process. I can't imagine how much work making a movie is. How are you feeling about how it all ended up?
I am thrilled. It's just amazing to be able to premiere a local film with local talent in our hometown. So having the Hyland there is just a godsend. And, our ticket sales are doing really well. There's still room for more people. So if you haven't actually gone to see a premiere of local talent, the energy that you'll find is amazing. So I do encourage you to go hit up the Hyland and get your tickets before they sell out.
What's it like to watch a movie that you made?
It's incredible because you're very proud of seeing everybody's contribution to it, right? But again, knowing that we made it and how we made it, a lot of our choices, our creative choices, were based on budget. So I see those.
Okay.
But other people probably wouldn't,
Totally.
So because I created it, I know what the vision was. So
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch something that you make normally as a viewer.
That's right. Yeah.
You're so deep in the weeds on everything.
100%.
So what do you think? Is this what you're going to do now? Do you want to do another one?
I do. And again, it's just finding funding, right? So that's like the biggest hurdle for filmmaking, especially here in London. So I just need to figure out how to access investors, tax credits, and even government funding, which so far I haven't been able to access because you need, because of the rules set in place.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's the next step.
Well, Jen, it's great to have you. Enjoy the screening tomorrow, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.